It is time that we had a talk. A real talk.
Hey, what's up, guys? Damn, it's been a while. Shit, man. I can't even remember the last time that I've had to log into my StreamYard account. So, basically, I was not planning on making a video on this at all. Um, I couldn't even find my mic. I literally just moved. I haven't even unpacked everything yet. I just threw on my gaming headset because I had a mic there. Um, I'm in my new house. This is eventually going to be like a YouTube studio thing. It's finally going to kind of take the vision that I wanted to, but I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I saw this episode this morning. I literally had to wait till today because I've been so busy. Now I finally had free time to watch it, and I watched it in the morning. Uh, What a great way to start my day. I'm choking on my tongue here because I'm trying to figure out, just get my thoughts in order. What's up, Sabrina? What's up, Tropical? I wasn't even going to do this live. I was just going to hold my phone up, but I was like, stop being lazy. It's time to get back in your groove. I'm noticing maybe a little bit of delay. I'm still kind of getting my connection and settings worked out. But yeah, this is what we're doing for today. So for everyone who's here, thank you for tuning in live. For everyone catching it off air, welcome to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I've done anything by myself, let alone editing. Haven't had time, but I think that I'm about to get back into my swing of things. So we're going to talk about episode 3. There will be spoilers. Man, in avoiding spoilers since Wednesday to Saturday, I've been dodging them like bullets in the Matrix, man. It has been so difficult, but people are starting to include them in their thumbnails in the YouTube videos. That's when you know you're in trouble. When you start seeing them in the thumbnails. I just like quickly found something on Google Images and just threw it up because I'm like, I don't got time to make a proper thumbnail. I just got to get this out here. So you guys let me know if the settings are good. I am noticing a bit of a little bit of lag in the video, but whatever. We're just gonna keep rolling, and I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope that hope that it's okay. So for starters, I just want to talk about a little bit about character development, and that is first of all, obviously with Obi-Wan, and what hit me like a truck watching this episode today was just how different Obi-Wan is. He's very untrusting, obviously. He's being very cautious. Obi-Wan's always been very cautious. That hasn't really changed much. It's just been exaggerated. It's like he's like overly cautious now, but he's also untrusting. Um, and that's beyond being cautious, right? He doesn't think anyone's a good guy anymore. Like he was talking about that to Leia, almost called her Luma. Um, talking about that to Leia, just about how not everyone's good. Like he just assumes that everyone is bad unless he's proven otherwise. He's definitely a broken man, and it's very hard to see, but it makes sense. He's something else that stood out to me was that he's impatient, and that's like the one thing that he always was. He was always a very patient man, and like when he and Leia got to that planet and they finally get to that destination, they literally just got there. He'd been there for like 1 second. He's like, "Well, there's no one here," and Leia's like, "Well, maybe they're late. Maybe they're not here yet." And he's like, "Nope, there's no one coming." It's like, dude, Obi-Wan, you've been waiting for exactly 2 seconds for someone to be here. Maybe that imperial officer that had met her or met them at that gateway, maybe she was planning on driving all the way there with the stormtroopers. Like, but Obi-Wan's just not a patient man anymore. Like that quality of his is gone. I mean, I guess he's patient enough to live his life out on Tatooine. But I mean, in a situation like this, I feel like old Obi-Wan would have just probably sat down on the ground and been like, "This is where we were supposed to be. This is where we're gonna wait." And he would just sit there, and then he'd be like telling Leia to chill out. But that it was the opposite, right? He's kind of frantic. It's sad to see him so broken, but it's definitely um, this time I've wanted to see Obi-Wan for so long, for like since episode 3 came out. I remember just wanting this period of time to see what happened. And these first 3 episodes are exactly what I wanted. It's everything that I've wanted and more. I literally feel like I'm gushing over this episode. It's like it was Man, I just felt like, damn, it is good to be a Star Wars fan. We're getting content like this. This is the shit that I was expecting when Disney bought Star Wars. This is like the bar that George Lucas had set. They're like reaching it. Okay, there are obviously different writers and stuff involved, but man, did they nail Darth Vader? Man, are they nailing Obi-Wan? I just feel like they're just home run this episode. Every episode in Kenobi has just been awesome. Okay, I after the episode, I just quickly jotted down some notes. I just want to fire through these notes, and that's it. This is going to be a very short stream. Um, what can I say? Okay, we talked about how he nailed Vader. Man, that line that Vader dropped, "I am what you made me." Holy shit, dude! This is some peak writing. What's up, Star Cabal? Good to see you, man. I am what you made me. That is going to become an iconic Star Wars line, Darth Vader line. Every single line that Vader dropped in this episode has just been absolute gold. I'm just thinking through, like, now you will suffer as I have, or whatever, as he drags Obi-Wan into the fire. It was like, bro, this is like he's getting his revenge. Like you could tell that he has thought so much about getting his revenge on Obi-Wan that this shit was all planned and set up. And he just drags Obi-Wan into the fire and holds him down. Like, holy shit, that is exactly what I would have expected Vader to do. And when Vader was fighting Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan was getting his shit kicked, honestly, I think Vader was holding back in that fight because Obi-Wan was just barely, he's like, where's the on switch on this thing again? And Vader's just one-handing the shit out of him. I It was unreal. Like, I think that a lot of us were expecting Obi-Wan and Vader to have like another epic, awesome duel, but this was a very realistic duel. This is exactly what I would have expected that how that fight to go because Obi-Wan has been doing nothing. He's been going to a gun before his lightsaber, which again, big character change for Obi-Wan. He's he's like freaking, I don't know, Cad Bane out there with his little pistol, just whipping that thing out. It also goes to show how far Obi-Wan has fallen from his original self. Just that the fact that relies on his gun now. This is something that he used to not really like very much because it was uncivilized. Now he uses it constantly. It's his go-to just to stay alive. So his perspective on what really matters has changed a lot. His what's a priority for him, what really matters to him has completely changed. And anyway, I'm getting off trail, but and then Vader calls him out for being weak because there's that moment where Vader strikes him and Obi-Wan goes flying back and Obi-Wan like looks at his lightsaber and looks at Vader. He's completely in shock. And I don't know if it's because he's realizing how weak he is or he's realizing how strong Vader is or he's realizing, well, whatever. It could be a combination of all those things. But um, that moment right there was just perfect. And Vader sees that there was that moment of, I don't know if it was fear, maybe shock, but Vader immediately sees it and calls him out on it for being weak. It's just perfection. I also wanted to talk about how the Empire is like a serious threat again, which is like, I feel like every time new Star Wars content comes out and the Empire is scary, it's it's just so much better. I so much prefer seeing stormtroopers as a dangerous threat where you get caught by them. I mean the OT, sure the stormtroopers were like they missed their targets, say what you will about them, but they were still a threat. You still had to avoid them. You still had to hide when stormtroopers were around, because they'll call you out and report you to their superiors. Like even the lowest stormtrooper can be a really scary thing to have to deal with. What's up, Count Juicy? Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's been so long since I've streamed. It's crazy. Um, yeah, those stormtroopers like questioning Obi-Wan on that transport ship. Like I was on the edge of my seat this whole episode, and the music was perfect. The music, the scoring of this whole show has been absolutely it's just perfect. It's fresh. It's new. And like I said, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. This constant tension of worrying about being caught is being executed perfectly. And I just feel like I just need to take this time to gush and to be excited and to be happy about Star Wars because I've just been so critical and negative. And I mean, my only complaint about the whole episode was how damn dark it was. I watched it this morning, and there was some glare on my TV from the sun, and I spent half the episode standing on the other side of the room trying to catch an angle so that I could see what was going on. Kind of a Game of Thrones moment there. But aside from that, man, it was just fantastic episode. I want to talk about Inquisitors. I was very worried that the Inquisitors were going to suck up all of the time, because what we saw with the Book of Boba and even the Mandalorian was a large focus on building up new characters, and I was really worried that was going to happen. And they're treating this exactly how I hoped they would. You can tell there's a different feel, there's a different energy. They're not trying to crack jokes all the time. There's no comic relief. It's very dark. It's very serious. This the sound of um what I don't know. I'm thinking of this one particular scene when we're seeing the Inquisitor Fortress, and there's like machinery clanking and there's scary music playing, and you feel a little bit scared. It's really well done. Seeing the Inquisitor Fortress was awesome. Like, we're seeing all these tie-ins now to Fallen Order, and it's kind of cool now. Fallen Order has paved the way to um this whole timeline of post Order 66. Not in the way the Bad Batch did, because the Bad Batch was like fresh out of Order 66, but Fallen Order, some time had passed, and it's paved the way for a lot of this right now that we're seeing in Obi-Wan. So it's really cool. Like, it opened the door to Inquisitors. We're very comfortable seeing them. We kind of get their whole deal, and I think they've done a really good job at incorporating these Inquisitors in a way that serves the story in a very good way. It doesn't take away from Obi-Wan. Reva, I don't understand the hate. I think she's fantastic. I love her. She's a great villain. The other supporting Inquisitors are also great. I got no beef with Reva. I think she's just perfect in her role. And there's just so much to her. There's this depth and this anger to her, but you can still feel like there's more. This need to prove herself. Where does that come from? There was a moment when she was looking at a carving in the wall, the resistance logo, and she paused for a moment, and then she got angry and knocked something over. But when she was looking at that logo, just the look on her face made me feel like, did she feel this sparkle of, like, I don't know, something. I feel like I caught something. Maybe she was feeling a bit of hope for the other side or something. It felt like a moment of clarity or something. And when she was seeing Vader just like walking down the street, just killing people, just trying to bait Obi-Wan out, and you could see her face. I was wondering if she was thinking, shit, is this okay? Like, is this a little too far? You know? Um, yeah, exactly. I'm sure we're gonna find that out. I mean, we talked in the Discord server about predictions as to why she is like she is. I'm sure we're gonna get a really kick-ass flashback like we did on episode 1. That Order 66 scene, man. Oh, we also got to see episode 3 Anakin in his robes, right? There was a vision of him in the desert. Obi-Wan saw him. Um, I mean, he was at a distance, so they could have gotten a look-alike. I don't know if they got Hayden to do that, but that fills me with hope that we might see more of something like that, like a flashback, even if it's just like Anakin with his robe up and a look-alike, or even Hayden in an Order 66 scene. Now we know it's kind of possible because they've already dabbled in that a little bit. In terms of character development, I also wanted to talk about Leia, because I feel like when we saw Leia as a kid in like the first couple episodes, she's very cute and lovable, and she was doing these things. And we're like, oh yeah, that's just like Leia. Oh, that's classic Leia. But what I'm realizing now is that Leia doesn't exist yet. This is the current Leia, right? So that Leia that we see later in the OT, she is the way she is because of what we're seeing in this show. This show is doing a lot to build her character, her warrior, the warrior within her, her fighting spirit. She's learning about the world because I don't think she'd ever been off world from Alderaan. So this is her first real life experience where she's like seeing people and learning, like, hey, not everybody is a good person. The Leia that we see in the OT is the way she is because of these experiences we're seeing in Kenobi. And I think that people are sleeping on that a little bit, like this character development. I never asked to see any character development for Leia. Like, I kept forgetting she was even in the show. and yet they're doing such a fantastic job with it. I'm just so blown away. All the characters in this show were great. Um, if anything, this stream is just it's just a little love letter to Kenobi and to I guess Disney, because man, like hats off to the writing team, and I can just tell that they're taking this more seriously. The atmosphere is different. There's no comedy, not really. Couple cracks here and there, but not really. It doesn't have that feel. It's a feeling of dread. Things aren't okay in the galaxy. Things aren't going to be okay. Like this is not going to be a happy ending show. Like the happy ending is if, for what I know, Leia survives and she gets home or whatever. I mean, we know she does. That's kind of the problem of telling stories like this. But um, yes, leads me to this other thought I wanted to talk about was that I was also wondering how they were going to get Kenobi off Tatooine, how they were going to get him off world, and was it going to work? Was it going to seem like too much? Was Obi-Wan going on all these adventures going to feel like just too much? Like I remember saying, I hope Obi-Wan doesn't leave Tatooine. I hope it's a slow-paced show that stretches out on Tatooine, and I'm glad that they didn't do that because this is awesome. This is perfect, and it makes perfect sense this journey that Obi-Wan didn't want to leave Tatooine. Even when he knew Leia's life was at stake, he still didn't want to leave Tatooine. He had to be forced off that rock. Even when he's gone, he's like, I would rather not be here. I would rather be hiding in my cave. That's kind of the energy Obi-Wan has. So it's not like Obi-Wan's like, oh, I forgot about the world. I'm having such a great time off Tatooine. It's not. It sucks ass. And he wants to go back into hiding. He just wants to keep his head down. I mean, damn, he was running away from Darth Vader. You think he was scared of him? Do you think that he just didn't want to get into a fight with him? I think that he was avoiding Vader because I just don't think he wanted to face what he had made. He didn't want to face the monster that he had created. So once he caught a glimpse and he was head on with him, Vader had his lightsaber out. Obi-Wan's like, I can't do this, and he left. I don't even think it was that he wanted to avoid the fight or he was scared of Vader's power. He was scared of getting recognized. It wasn't all those things. I think it was just that he had this moment where like, oh shit, this is what Anakin is now. I can't do this. And he ran away. I mean, those other things are probably a factor too, but just crazy, man. Obi-Wan's development, and I feel like we're still going to see more development that's going to tie in better to Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan yet. Um, we'll see. I mean, 6 episodes for this is going to be perfect. I'm now hearing rumors that there's a season two that is possibly happening. I talked about that in the news channel a little bit on the server, and I feel like I want to clarify on that because I don't want to give off the impression that I don't want to see more Kenobi. I do. I'm just worried that they're going to see how much money it's making, and they're going to just start throwing Ewan into things, and it's going to saturate it. I don't want to see Vader and I don't want to see Vader and Obi-Wan just milked, because they've been very sparing with Vader because I think that they know less is more, which has been very beneficial for this show. And now we're finally starting to see more, but I also think they've been kind of scared of ruining Darth Vader. Um, and I'm just kind of worried that they're going to start to forget about how sacred these characters are once they realize how much money they can make off of them. And we're going to get very simplistic plots like in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Like the storyline for The Mandalorian could have been written in 15 minutes because really, Mando is just trying to survive with Grogu, and his ship keeps breaking down, and every second episode's a filler episode. Like it's a great show, but I'm saying very simplistic plot. Like you can tell they're milking it for a long run, and I just don't want to see that happen to Obi-Wan because what we're getting right now is, in my opinion, it's been perfect. I can't think of anything that I would have liked to see more of or better. I'm scared that season two is going to be 12 episodes long, and we're going to get filler episodes of Obi-Wan. He's on Tatooine, and somebody is needs help, and he has to help because he's a good guy. Like I don't want to see shit like that. I would rather see less of it. I would rather see less of Obi-Wan because I just think less is more. Less is more. With Obi-Wan and Vader and stories like this, Obi-Wan doesn't have much of a story to tell. Okay, maybe Darth Vader has a lot of um, stories, and there's rumors that Hayden wants to maybe be involved in like a spin-off show of Darth Vader. Like Vader's got a lot of story to tell. Obi-Wan doesn't. So he's not really a character that I need to see more expanded of. I don't really need to know. I know what that he's hiding out on a rock. He has a very, I imagine, a boring and uneventful life after this series, because obviously Vader doesn't find him on Tatooine. So we know that he gets away and he just hides. So is Obi-Wan someone that I want to see long adventures with? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if they do a really good job bridging into the next season, are we going to see a cat and dog chase with Obi-Wan and Vader just over and like I don't want to see that either. So I don't know what I want. I'm very cautious about a second season just because this season's been so perfect. So I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that this one is so good. I'm worried that well, you guys get my points. I don't think I need to go into that. I will say after this, I want more Vader. The excitement. Yeah, dude, Vader's my favorite Star Wars character. So it's just been perfect, and everything that we've seen has been perfect. I love, like I said, less is more. I'm just going to keep saying that. The moments we see with him are powerful and they're impactful and they just drive hard. And every movement that he does is just, you can tell. Someone like Vader, who's you can't get a read on him. Every time he does something, it's like monumental to me, or to other fans, probably, whatever. So for them to have used him as much as they did in this episode, and we got to see him at Vader's fortress. Fuck yeah, dude. I don't know. It's perfect. Like I agree with you, Juicy. I hope that it continues like this. I don't. My expectations have been blown away. I'm completely happy. I'm satisfied. I don't know what more I could ask for. So I'm just going to keep writing out this show, and whatever happens, happens. And I'm not worried about it. I was worried about this show before, but I'm not. It's in good hands. I really hope I don't look back on this and eat my words like I did on the Book of Boba. That video's unlisted now. But yeah. And I'm surprised we haven't seen Qui-Gon yet. I feel like hasn't he already been confirmed to make an appearance in this show? I thought that he had already been confirmed. So I'm sure we're gonna see him at some point. Maybe he's not confirmed. I don't know. I'm just my memory. Um, I think that we've seen now 2 scenes of Obi-Wan meditating, maybe 3, of him trying to reach out to Qui-Gon. So I don't think that they would do that if they weren't planning on one of these times he meditates and he hears Qui-Gon. Like we're gonna see that for sure. I'm no doubt in my mind, 100% confident Obi-Wan's gonna link up with Qui-Gon, and it's gonna be a very special moment. And I could see Obi-Wan tearing up. It's gonna be a very emotional moment, and I can't wait to see that. Yeah, I think they're teasing him. Tales of the Jedi, that's right. He'll be back for that. That's right. So if they're going to include him in that, I think this is going to be his foothold back into the Star Wars universe in this show. So yeah, okay. I think that's all I had to say. Thank you guys for tuning in. This again, just a short stream. I just needed to gush a little bit and be happy and excited. And like I mentioned earlier, damn, it is good to be a Star Wars fan after content like this. Shit, man. I I don't know if I've been this excited since I just think of Rogue One when Vader came back. Finally, when Vader came back, I think of when Luke came back in Mandalorian season 2. There's just been some moments that have been very special, but there haven't been that many of them. Like Star Wars is fun and exciting and all the cameos are great, but the moments that really hit you as deeply as a Star Wars fan and make you just remember why you loved the show so much to begin with. Um, I feel like I haven't really been getting many of those. So this whole show, I feel like, has been a moment like that. So I just wanted to take a moment to just express overwhelming positivity. Um, I think that's all I wanted to say. Again, I just moved. I eventually want to get a bit of a YouTube corner set up here, with some Star Wars stuff, and actually, for the first time in this channel's history, look like a Star Wars YouTuber, not just an abbreviation on a hat. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I got to remember how I wrap up streams. It's been a long time. Okay. See you guys in the Discord. join the link. It's in the description. Lots of new subscribers recently, thanks to this explosion in Star Wars, and I've got a couple of relevant videos to it. So I know I've brought in some new subs. So welcome to you guys if you're new to the channel, and I'm gonna wrap up things here. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the Discord. May the Force be with you.
It is time that we had a talk. A real talk.